Hey, drama lovers, let's be honest. If you're here, you live for the moments when your jaw hits the floor and you have to rewind just to make sure you saw what you think you saw. Today, I'm breaking down 3 quick plot twists that had me staring at my TV, shocked. We're talking bribed judges, a death that came out of nowhere, and parents who are way more complicated than they let on. Let's get into the mess of these 3 General Hospital surprises.
Shut up and sit down.
Welcome to In My Arrogant Opinion. This is a video playlist from West Harris where our ideas, thoughts, reviews, and unsolicited opinions about daytime soaps and other shows are shared. Of course, this is all for entertainment purposes. We've been watching daytime and primetime soaps since the 1900s, so you can trust us. Daytime soaps can be predictable and repetitive, but in my arrogant opinion, that's ironically why so many of us love them. But when we get a surprise like this first one on our list, your mouth drops open. It was Jen Sidwell paying off the judge in Michael and Willow's custody fight. I did not see that coming. I'll be real, I thought this custody battle was going to be the usual soap routine, some tears, some shouting, maybe a last-minute witness, and I was here for all of it. Especially Sasha going into labor on the stand and Willow, a nurse, having to deliver her husband's mistress baby at their custody hearing. Solid gold, people. Michael wins custody, and it's a victory. For most fans who hate his Uncle Drew, who's sleeping with Willow, Michael's now ex-wife. But gents, he's out here bribing judges like it's just another Tuesday. That's a different level, and that was not on my GH bingo card, y'all. What really gets me is how this move changes the whole landscape. With Sonny, you know what you're getting. Threats, intimidation, the occasional friendly warning that's anything but friendly. But Sidwell? He's an unknown quantity. He doesn't have a territory, at least not one we know about stateside. We don't know if he's in it for the money, the power, or just the thrill of getting away with it. That's what makes him interesting now. He's not just another Sonny wannabe. He's got his own game, and we, after this surprised, we don't know the rules. And let's talk about the impact now. Every scene with Jen Sidwell has a different energy. Is he pulling strings? Who else is in his pocket? Is the judge just a start, or is this guy building a network? The writers did us a favor by making him unpredictable. It's not just about Michael and Willow anymore. It's about how deep this corruption goes. We know that he's formed an alliance with Congressman Cutthroat Kane and Councilman Ezra Boyle to get Sonny's waterfront property. Suddenly, the peace we've had in Port Charles for the past few years is feeling awfully shaky now. I also appreciate that the payoff wasn't some over-the-top dramatic reveal. It was quick, almost casual, which makes it more believable. Real corruption isn't always fireworks and evil laughter. It's quiet, it's subtle, and it's scary because of how normal it looks. That's what makes this surprise twist land so well. Okay, the second surprise was Kai dropping the bomb on Drew about Trina's parents, Curtis and Portia, being behind the whole Jacinda wild night of partying and recreational substances. Kai sharing this had me doing a facepalm, saying, "Really, dude? You're that damn loyal to Drew? Wow." Side note, I just remembered, weeks ago, after the nurses' ball, we saw Nina slyly ditch Portia holding the bag. Or should I say the vial? And I was thinking, okay, Nina's just covering her tracks, no big deal. But it was funny. Anywho, Kai spilling the tea that Portia was actually the mastermind and Curtis is involved? Just wow. In my arrogant opinion, this twist was great because it causes a rift between Kai and Trina. I mean, you just told on your girlfriend's parents to their enemy. This further entangles him with Drew and may give Drew even more leverage against Portia, who he's already blackmailing. It, raises the stakes and makes the drama more intense, you know? All right, now for the big one. Let's talk about Natalia. Her accidental death. I'm still not over it. I know a lot of people were rolling their eyes at her, waiting for her to exit stage left, but I actually liked her. Maybe not for her opinions, but because she felt like a real person. Not everyone on TV has to be a role model, and in my arrogant opinion, sometimes it's the flawed ones who make things interesting. I'll admit, I thought she and Sonny were headed straight for that classic soap marriage of convenience. You could see it coming from a mile away. He'd marry her to keep her from testifying, the DA would lose their mind, and we'd get months of awkward breakfast scenes. But then, boom, she's gone. Not in a blaze of glory, that was almost Christina at Charlie's. which is an honorable mention on our list of surprises. Natalia did not go out in some wild shootout, but by an accidental overdose. What I really appreciated about Natalia was that she wasn't written to be liked by everyone. She had her own worldview, and it wasn't always pretty. She made mistakes, she said things that made you cringe, and sometimes she just flat out got it wrong. But that's real life. Not everyone is as open-minded as we wish, and pretending otherwise doesn't make for good TV. Watching her try, and often fail, to navigate her relationships felt honest, even if it was uncomfortable. Her death was shocking because it wasn't telegraphed. There was no slow build-up, no dramatic foreshadowing. It just happened, and suddenly everything changed. Sonny now may have to worry about prison for an altogether different reason. The DA's whole strategy fell apart, and everyone else has to pick up the pieces. It was messy, and that's why it worked. Natalia's accidental death was a surprise, but it was also a reminder that not everything in this world is neat or fair. Sometimes things just fall apart, and the story is better for it. Will I miss her? Nope. But I love how she exited the show and what her character's death is going to provide us as fans in its aftermath. In my arrogant opinion, we need more characters like her, complicated, flawed, and real. For me, these were 3 messy surprises that will provide months of fun for the citizens of Port Charles to navigate through. You know, whether it's Sidwell's invisible hand, Natalia's all-do-real accidental overdose, or Drew finding out about Portia's botched scheme against him, these moments remind me why I love General Hospital. In my arrogant opinion, it's the flawed characters, the wild twists, and the never-ending secrets that make daytime drama the best kind of TV. And honestly, I wouldn't have it any other way. So what do you think? Did these moments surprise you too, or am I just easily impressed? Drop your thoughts in the comments and let's keep the drama going.